The young and the restless spoilers shock Victor Newman's wrath is not something that should be taken lightly, and Claire's recent decision to move in with Kyle Abbott, despite her grandfather's stern warnings, has triggered the storm that's brewing in the Newman family. Victor, who has always exerted an iron grip over the lives of those he loves, is seething with anger over Claire's defiance. He's used to controlling the people around him, especially his family, and to see Claire making her own decisions, independent of his influence, is an affront to his authority. Victor has always treated his family like pieces on a chessboard, each one moved according to his plans and his desires. Claire, his granddaughter, was supposed to be someone who followed in his footsteps, someone who respected his wishes and continued the Newman legacy. However, her decision to choose Kyle over her grandfather's wishes feels like a betrayal to Victor. He sees Kyle as a threat, not just to Claire's happiness, but to his control over the family and his legacy. Claire, on the other hand, has made it clear that she's an adult now, and she's tired of living in the shadow of Victor's manipulations. She doesn't want to be treated like a pawn in his endless power struggles. Her decision to move in with Kyle represents her desire for autonomy and independence, something that Victor has never truly allowed her to have. Claire's declaration that she's old enough to make my own decisions is not just about her living arrangements, it's a broader statement about taking control of her own life and destiny. Victor's reaction to Claire's independence is both explosive and calculated. He's furious, not just because she's making her own choices, but because she's choosing someone he considers beneath her. To Victor, Kyle is not just an outsider. He's an obstacle to his control over the Abbott family and an unpredictable element in his power struggles. Kyle's relationship with Claire threatens the balance of power that Victor has worked so hard to maintain. In his eyes, Claire is being seduced by Kyle, and Victor can't let that go unpunished. As always, Victor's actions are fueled by pride, ego, and a deep sense of ownership over his family. His demand that Claire return to the Newman estate is more than just about her living situation, it's a statement about control. Victor is telling Claire, in no uncertain terms, that she is not free to make her own decisions. He's trying to force her back into the mold he has created for her, where she is under his roof, under his rules, and under his influence. When Claire receives the ultimatum from Victor, it shatters her. Holding the letter from her grandfather in her hands, she is consumed with emotion. Her eyes well up with tears as she reads the words that tell her that her decision to live with Kyle is a betrayal, a disrespect to Victor. Her heart breaks at the thought of losing her grandfather's love and approval, but at the same time, she feels the sting of his control. She never asked to be a pawn in his game, she only wanted to live her own life. Claire's tears are a mixture of frustration, sadness, and confusion. She can't understand why Victor, the man who claims to care about her, is willing to destroy their relationship over something as simple as her desire to live with Kyle. For Claire, the ultimatum is more than just a demand, it's a harsh reminder of how little autonomy she's been allowed in her life. She's always been the dutiful granddaughter, following Victor's every command, but now, she's realizing that her independence comes at a cost. The weight of the ultimatum is crushing. Claire is torn between her love for Victor and her desire to live a life that is truly her own. She can't help but feel betrayed by him. All she wants is for him to accept her and support her in her choices, but instead, he's trying to control her once again. It's a painful realization for Claire that the man she thought she could turn to for guidance and love is now the one who is tearing her apart emotionally. Victor, on the other hand, is resolute. His pride has been wounded, and his sense of power has been challenged. In his mind, Claire's actions are a direct threat to everything he has built. He believes that her decision to move in with Kyle is not just about her independence, it's a rejection of his authority. For Victor, this is not just about family, it's about control, and he will stop at nothing to get it back. But Kyle, for all his charm and warmth, is not one to back down either. He knows that Victor sees him as a threat, but he is also not afraid of standing his ground. He loves Claire, and he's willing to fight for her, even if it means going head-to-head with Victor. Kyle is no longer the naive man who once felt the weight of Victor's power. He's grown stronger, more confident in his own right, and he won't let Victor dictate Claire's choices any longer. As Claire stands at this crossroads, the question remains, will she choose to return to the Newman estate, as Victor demands, or will she defy him and stand by Kyle's side? This is the moment that will define her future, and the choices she makes now will have lasting consequences for her relationship with both her grandfather and Kyle. The fallout from Victor's ultimatum will be dramatic, and the emotional toll it takes on Claire will be felt by all the key players in her life. Will she give in to Victor's pressure and sacrifice her independence, or will she stand up for herself and her relationship with Kyle? The tension between family loyalty and personal autonomy is at the heart of this conflict, and it's clear that Claire is about to make a choice that will shape the rest of her life. Victor's anger and determination to control his family are clear, but Kyle's resolve to protect Claire and carve out their future together is just as strong. In the end, the question is not just about who will win this battle, but whether Claire will find a way to balance the love she has for her grandfather with the love and independence she's trying to build with Kyle. Claire Newman has made a bold and powerful decision that is bound to shake the foundation of her family dynamic, especially with Victor. The stakes have never been higher for Claire, who has finally decided that she will no longer be a part of the Newman family empire and all the control and manipulation that come with it. Her declaration that she won't return to the Newman estate is a final act of defiance against the man who has always tried to control her life, Victor Newman. Claire, for the first time, has chosen to live her own life on her own terms. She's made it clear to her mother, Victoria, that she will not forgive Victor for what he's done to her. She's tired of being a pawn in his games, of being the person he can mold and shape to fit his vision for the family. It's not just about the fact that she's chosen to be with Kyle, it's about reclaiming her independence and refusing to live under Victor's oppressive influence any longer. Claire makes it clear that whether her life is difficult or filled with happiness, it's hers to live, and it's no longer something that she will allow Victor or anyone else in her family to dictate. This decision is a courageous one for Claire, and it's not just a rejection of Victor's authority. It's a rejection of everything that the Newman legacy represents in her life. For Claire, the pursuit of her own happiness, which means being with Kyle and carving out her own future, is far more important than any obligation to the Newman family name. Victor's overbearing nature has clouded her sense of self, and now, she's fighting back. Victoria, for her part, shows her support for Claire's decision. While their relationship has often been complicated by family obligations and the pressure of living up to Victor's expectations, Victoria is standing by her daughter's choice. She tells Claire that she supports her decision to follow her heart and pursue the love that she deserves. Victoria herself has lived a life filled with her own personal struggles, especially in her relationships with men, and she doesn't want her daughter to repeat the same mistakes. Victoria's advice is clear: follow your heart, Claire. Don't look back or second-guess your decision, because if you do, you'll only regret it later. It's a moment of maternal strength and support for Claire, showing that no matter the family conflicts, Victoria ultimately wants her daughter to be happy and fulfilled, regardless of the consequences. Victor, on the other hand, reacts to Claire's decision with rage and bitterness. For Victor, Claire's defiance is not just a personal betrayal, it's an affront to everything he has worked for, everything he has built for the Newman family. He sees his family as a tightly knit unit, one that must always stay loyal to the legacy he has created. Victor firmly believes that his decisions are what's best for Claire and the entire family, and her rejection of him strikes at the core of his pride. He tells Claire that her failures are simply a result of her failure to listen to him. He claims that the reason Victoria's life has been full of disappointments, failed relationships, and betrayals is because she didn't heed his advice. She chased after men who weren't worthy of her and allowed herself to be repeatedly hurt. Victor's words are harsh, and they carry the weight of his unrelenting belief that his control is what keeps the family intact. He accuses Claire of making a huge mistake, just like her mother did, and he warns her that she will regret it one day. But Claire, in this pivotal moment, is resolute. She has made her decision, and she will no longer be manipulated by Victor's words or his view of what is best for her. In his eyes, she's merely another casualty of his grand design, a design that he believes is unshakable and flawless. But Claire's defiance exposes the cracks in that design, and it's something Victor can't easily accept. Claire's decision to break free from Victor's control is a significant shift in the power dynamics of the Newman family. For years, Victor has been the puppet master, pulling the strings of everyone around him, especially his children. But now, Claire has chosen to live outside of that framework, to live on her own terms. This rejection of Victor's dominance is a symbol of Claire's growth, her strength, and her determination to define her own path. However, this move is not without its emotional consequences. Claire's relationship with Victor will never be the same, and the rift between them could widen further. Victor's anger is palpable, and he's unlikely to let this slide without repercussions. Victor's pride won't allow him to simply accept his granddaughter's defection. He will most likely seek ways to punish Claire for her decision, either by manipulating the family's business or by targeting Kyle, whom he holds responsible for influencing Claire's choices. His wrath could have lasting consequences, not just for Claire, but for Kyle as well. For Claire, the path forward will be difficult, and she knows that there will be challenges ahead. She is stepping into the unknown, leaving behind the safety of the Newman estate and everything she has known for a chance at personal freedom. She is choosing love over loyalty, and while it may cost her relationships within the family, it is the choice she believes will bring her the most happiness. The emotional conflict within the Newman family is far from over. With Claire's departure from the family fold, Victoria's ongoing struggle to please her father, and Victor's unyielding desire for control, this storyline is bound to continue unraveling in unexpected ways. The next chapter for Claire, Kyle, and even Victor will be filled with emotional highs and lows, and it will be fascinating to see how each character navigates the shifting tides of loyalty, love, and personal freedom. The big question remains, will Claire's decision to break away from Victor truly lead to her happiness, or will the fallout from her choice destroy the relationships she holds dear? Time will tell. But one thing is certain, The Young and the Restless has set the stage for a dramatic new chapter in Claire's journey, one that will have ripple effects across the entire Newman family.